The 782nd edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by our free bracket challenge. $2,000 winner take all. Enter today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket.
Heidi ho, degenerados. Welcome to episode 782 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to Taiwan Claxton, who, unbeknownst to me, called me a pussy apparently on Twitter, thinking that I picked against him. I did not pick against
you.
I
think you said, didn't you say something mean about him, though?
That's going to be Reeland talking. Say hi to him, everyone. I don't think so. When would I have said something mean? You mean in the tweet or something? I don't know. Anyhow, that's fine. He can call me a pussy all he wants.
I think when we were recording before. Sorry, I just saw a little pop up in the bottom of the screen. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
StreamYard's annoying us.
Yeah, they were bothering me there for a bit, so I'm sorry. I was hesitant on that comment. No, I'm pretty sure on the thing you were like, oh yeah, he's not the Taiwan Claxton of before or something like that. Given your little 2 bits on regional MMA as you do, and
yes, I do.
He might have taken more offense to that than me picking against him.
I took a lot of heat. I took heat on Instagram from some guy about that.
He looked really good. I even said it in the Discord. He can't see our Discord. He should join our Discord. I said it in our Discord. Somebody was like, man, Taiwan Claxton is beating that dude up. And I said, he looks like the Taiwan Claxton I used to be excited about. Right? Like when he came up in Bellator, I was excited about him. I was like, this dude is an animal. And then he lost some fights, looked real lackluster in a win. And I was like, oh, that's not exciting anymore. Picked against him. Boom. Maybe we revitalize his career. Maybe he should be thanking us. Maybe that's the thing.
He should. I never got, maybe I have him blocked somehow by accident, but I never got him calling me anything. So I think Gumby made it up.
Why would you have blocked Taiwan Claxton?
No, I didn't. I didn't for real. But yeah, I didn't get a notification. Someone on Instagram was ribbing me about it. And I said, hey, I didn't make the picks. It's my co-host. If they're wrong, it's my co-host. If they're right, then it's we. That's the way it works. So I am a Jeff Pussy Fox. That's my new nickname. I had a different nickname, but no, we're calling an audible. So
shout out to Taiwan.
We're not going to talk about last night's train wreck. It was a train wreck of picks. It happens sometimes.
It wasn't. I mean, it was worse for you than it was for me. I mean, I think I was
one pick worse, but yes, a lot of money worse though. A lot.
Yeah. I hit some really nice underdogs, and I also hit. If you read, everybody should go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com and make sure you read our articles every day. I hit a 12-1 underdog in the article that I wrote. So shout out to Carlos Vera in his submission game.
Yes. Oh God. That was crazy. Gumby hit the first 4 fights of the night correct, including a plus 55, 155, plus 200 dog. So
yeah,
that's
and a plus 350 on Carly Judas's head kick.
Yep. Gumby has had me by $100 now on the year. So there you
go. See, I told you there was still time.
There is still time. That's okay. These things happen in MMA. I'm only at 58% on the year, but usually I'm 62 or whatever. So it will revert back. Maybe starting this week. We'll talk about that in a couple of days because UFC is off to London. One of our favorites in the main event. He's still one of our favorites, right? Sean Brady?
Yeah, I love Sean Brady.
You still like Sean Brady? Yeah. He hasn't let us down too much. So, all right. Today is Cage Warriors, right? This is not the event Gumby's going to. Gumby's going to one of the events we're covering this weekend. So that's a rarity. It's happened a few times in the past, but
come say hi if you see me at one of the 3 events we cover this week.
Yes. Maybe tomorrow we should discuss that. He's not going to be in London, England. That's where we're headed to for this event. After I got so thrown off by being called a pussy by a guy 100 pounds less than me that I'm don't have my reads up here for you, ladies and gentlemen. So Hardwick versus Garcia. The other Hardwick was supposed to fight last weekend, and that fight fell off. Right?
It's actually on this week now.
Okay.
So for any of you who are looking for George Hardwick's fight on this breakdown, you can go back and you can listen to our Cage Warriors episode from last week. We did 184 and 185 last week. We broke down George Hardwick's fight with Lucas Clay. So we're still going to give you 5 picks like we always do on this episode. But I decided not to double dip on that one because like you
Yeah.
guys can already go back and listen to that. So really, you're getting 6 picks for this week.
There you go. And then the bonus rounds, even more. A lot of familiar names on this card as well. So his fight is official for this week. Tapology doesn't have it yet, but
yeah, it's official for this week. They just pushed both of them forward. They seem excited about it. Looks like it's happening.
What happened? Was it a weight thing?
I think it was a health thing, like a bad weight cut thing, maybe a flu thing. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like it's all systems are go. They posted a picture of both the Hardwick brothers and said they will be fighting on the same card, which is pretty good for confirmation for me.
Yeah, very good. All right. Now I got my ad reads. So that was me killing time for you. And these are good ad reads. These are actually telling you how you can win stuff from us. You can compete against, that's the word, SGPN this March in our $75,000 winner take all college basketball survivor contest. March has never been this exciting. Enter at splashsports.com/SGPN. That's splashsports.com/SGPN. I think I better enter that. I think we're allowed to enter too, right? Because there's no way you can rig these.
Yeah, we're supposed to tempt people to try to beat us.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. They're playing. Yeah. What am I thinking?
Us versus them. So
do they let us Canadians play too? Hopefully they do.
Yeah, I think it's a Canadian. You got to deal with the exchange rate though. That's the only thing. It's like
$75,000 is amazing for me. That's like another 40.
But it's like $30 for you to get in.
Oh, it's true. You have to pay to get in. Mm-hmm. That is true. I'm glad I get paid in American money. The way things are going right now. All right. We are doing, as I said, Cage Warriors 186. How did you do last week? I may as well bring that up now. How did Cage Warriors 184.85 do?
We swept Cage Warriors. So Cage Warriors was particularly good to us. We had a little bit of a rough time with Tough Enough, which was a new promotion for us.
Oh, I heard.
Diego Brandao. Well, yeah, not just Tom Glaxon. Yep. Diego Brandao hit a spinning heel kick knockout on like a legit UFC prospect in 2025. And I can't get over that. But we wound up down just under 2 units on the weekend as a whole. So looking to build that back up this week.
Yeah. That's what you get for picking a Canadian, Gummy. You didn't learn. You picked a Canadian and he got his head kicked off. All right, Cage Warriors 186. Hardwick versus Garcia. Hardwick squared. London, England this Friday, which is good. They're not all piled up on Saturday. This past weekend, everything went down Saturday pretty much. So that will be the 21st of March, 1 p.m. Eastern start time on the UFC Fight Pass in the Indigo at the O2 in London, England. 13 fights. Gumby will not be covering. I guess it would be 14 fights now because they don't have the other Hardwick on the Tapology. Tapology's Cage Warriors is not really up to date.
Yeah, they suffer with Tapology for sure.
So, do promotions do it?
Yeah, some promotions do it, and then they have people who cover it. And so like either whoever covers that area or Cage Warriors is particularly slow on the draw.
Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, we will soldier through it though. We're starting off with the lightweight bout. Tariq Pell from England versus Ermil Xhaferi. He is from Albania, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Albania. 3 5-minute rounds, 155. No odds as of the late last night. I take it there's no odds as of now either, or is there?
No, I haven't seen any yet.
Okay. All right. Xhaferi, 5-1-1, 2 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. He owes his rounds. 1-1 in Cage Warriors. He won his last fight via submission. He's a year younger than Pell. Pell is 4-1, 2 knockouts, 1 submission. He has never been finished in a fight. He has gone 2-1 in Cage Warriors. He won his last fight via TKO. Used to fight at 170, 3 inches of height over Xhaferi.
I think based on the KO power and the record being just a touch better, I think Tariq Pell is going to be the favorite here. I'm going to say to the tune of like -200 and like +175 on Xhaferi. And I'm out the gate going to go with an underdog. I like the Albanian in this fight. The main reason being, like I said, Pell has got good knockout power, but he relies really heavily on these kicks. And he throws them to all levels. He throws them to the legs. He throws them to the body. He throws them to the head. But, like, that's how he establishes his range. And when you watch Xhaferi turns his opponent's kicks into takedowns almost all the time. Like, that is just a thing he does. And I really love his bottom game, or his top game, rather, when he takes people down. Is his ability to, sort of transition through the positions and hold people in position so that they don't get back up. It's really sharp. I love his top game. And the fact that he does it off of kicks, I think just is a huge benefit against Pell. The other thing is I really do like his counters. I think Pell is going to try to be first a lot of times in this fight. And if he does, Xhaferi throws this, I want to say it's like a swatting left hook. like it almost looks like he hits people open palm sometimes with it. But it like you can tell it's like kind of devastating in the way that he hits people. So I think ultimately like Pell is going to be faster. He's going to try to be first here, but I think it's just going to take a couple takedowns from Xhaferi for him to like either find a position where he can finish on the mat or, like transition enough and control enough that he'll probably wind up with a decision here. So I like Ermil Xhaferi here. Again, I'm thinking like 2-1 underdog.
Nice. Got to like that. So right out of the gate, Gumby is getting you dogs. Hopefully Pell does not call me a pussy when
I get it wrong.
If he wins this fight. So I'm taking that's fine. I will. Gumby is one enough for us.
I think for the rest of the year, you just have to pick the opposite of who I do. And then anybody who questions on the show, we just say, oh, the other guy had him.
The other guy had him, exactly. Hey, that's okay. The least I can do with Gumby bringing the value to each episode, I don't mind. All right, we are going to 125 next. Jawany Scott, he's from England. Jonny Touma, he is from, I believe, Sweden. I just looked at it and I already Sweden. Yes. 3 5-minute rounds on the clock. Let's tell you about Touma first. It's not a Touma. Have I done that joke with him before? I did it with someone before.
I don't think Jonny Touma, because I did not know about him until today.
Okay, it's not a Touma. Good joke. Good joke, Jeff. 6-3 with 2 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. He also has some finishes. This is his debut in Cage Warriors. Loss over his last 3. 3-3 over his last 6. TKO loss in his last fight. A regional champion. Used to fight at 135, an inch of height over Scott. Scott is 6-1, 1 knockout, 1 submission. Never been finished any fight. These guys, they're due for some finishes, right? Yanni says, take the under. They always finishers. Take the under, says Yanni. He would have no idea who either of these people are, right? There's no chance. He would know who Scott or Touma was. 3-0 in Cage Warriors. He's won 5 straight. He's not lost since November 2022. 3 years younger than Touma.
I think I'm going to get some hate on this one.
Good. That means I will.
Because I was a hater on Jawany Scott last time, and I'm going to hate on him again. I actually picked David Scarano to beat him in his last fight, and it didn't come true. But he did not look good against David Scarano. I believe he lost a round in that fight, but even if he didn't, he lost wrestling exchanges. He got cracked a little bit. He looked hittable. He looked slow. I just once upon a time, I was like, Jawany Scott is one of my favorite flyweight prospects. And now I find myself with a lot of doubts about what he's able to do, because it seems like every time he steps up in skill level, he's a little bit too hittable or doesn't quite have the takedown defense to deal with it. And Jonny Touma is a guy, like I said, I said 2 seconds ago, I did not know who he was recently. I had to go watch film on this guy. And he hasn't, doesn't have the best looking record. I actually had already circled Jawany Scott in my little side notes here that I keep on my computer. Because I assumed a guy who is, what did you say, 6-3, wasn't going to go in there and beat Jawany Scott. Mm-hmm. And he looks really good. I love the trips that he uses. Really nice body lock wrestling out of him. The one thing I will say about his striking is he loads up really big. You can really tell when he's ready to put everything into a punch. You're like, here it comes. And it's nice.
So I would like him then?
You like that
I like the people that hit hard, remember?
Oh, you accused me of that? Hey, that worked for you with Chidi and Keweny. He hits hard, but it's really obvious. It's really wound up. I don't know that any of that will tag Jawany Scott, but I do think he's just going to wear down Jawany Scott, because Scott brings a good pace and everything like that. But I think he's going to be hesitant, because when he comes forward like that, I think Touma's going to get the clinch. He's going to score some takedowns, and he's going to make Scott work. And again, I think the other reason why I like Touma here is I think he's going to be a plus 350 dog. And for me, that's probably worth a sprinkle here. You will see. This week, I think I needed to trust myself and my underdog plays a little bit better, because I've seen underdogs blowing up the last couple of weeks and the regional scene, and I have not been trusting them enough. And I'm going to change that tune. We're going to get back on the right track here, and Jonny Touma's the one who's going to do it for me.
All righty. Jonny Touma is the pick. All right, let me tell you about DraftKings next. When it comes to college basketball and March Mania, one thing is for sure. Nothing's for sure. Upsets, buzzer beaters, Cinderellas advancing, top seeds going home early. It's all going to happen. Bet the unexpected every upset, every day with DraftKings Sportsbook. Actually, day was capitalized, so I should say day. With live betting, exclusive content, promos, and parlays, DraftKings is the italics, so I said the ultimate college basketball destination for March. First time, here's something special for you. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Obviously, we would use that on Kyle Filipowski plays. Maybe Al Horford too. Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SGP. That's code SGP for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets. Only when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Is there someone here to tell us some additional information, Gumby?
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Thank God, because I would have butchered that for sure, at least a couple of times. All right, let me tell you about Rhythm next. I won't butcher this. Rhythm is throwing an epic March Madness party, and you're invited. All Rhythm users are invited to a first four watch party Wednesday, March 19th. That's this coming Wednesday at the awesome Stadium Swim at Circa Las Vegas. And it gets better. Rhythm is also giving away a $250 March Madness future for one random lucky Rhythm user. Even if you can't make the party, you can still win with the future bet. Rhythm's March Madness stats and success for 2024 was pretty much off the hook. With UConn winning, their percentage of winners was 39% higher than in ESPN brackets as a whole. Rhythm had 34% of the brackets. ESPN had 24.7% of the brackets. Rhythm predicted Duquesne, NC State, and Oakland upsets. 45% of Rhythm brackets had NC State reaching the Sweet 16. A free party plus a chance at a $250 future bet when you sign up with Rhythm. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party for details. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party. Let's keep this party going on too, shall we? Where are we moving to? Where are we moving to next? I sound like your other
we know at middleweight.
Yes. I sounded just like your other co-host. I said party, and I said, where are we going to next? I'm stealing all his lines unintentionally. Middleweight, people we know at middleweight. Is that what you call this one?
Yeah.
It would be the Englishman, Will Currie, versus the Israeli Eli Aronov. 3-5 rounds, 185. Huh?
I said so close.
So
Eli Aronov. Yeah.
Eli Aronov. So not close at all. Eli Aronov, who we've discussed before. That doesn't mean I'm not going to butcher his name. He is the Israeli tank. He's 6-1, 2 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been submitted once. This is his debut. He lost his last fight via submission. That was on the Contender Series, I believe. And who did he lose to, Gumby? Do you remember that?
Zachary Reese.
Yes. That was August 2023. He has not fought since then. He has not won since May 2022. 1-0 in Bellator. Used to fight at 205. 0-1 as a pro grappler. Currie, Drago. What an original nickname. He's English. Interesting nickname, actually, for an Englishman. 12-4. 4 knockouts, 6 submissions. He's been knocked out once. 8-3 in Cage Warriors. He's won 3 of 4 and 7 of 9. He did lose his last fight. 0-1 in Contender Series. Who did you lose to, Gumby?
Jordan Santos.
There you go. Gumby knows these things. Do you have to look that up, or do you remember?
No. We just talked about Jordan Santos, what was that, last week? 2 weeks ago, right before he lost to Ozzy Diaz, who I picked.
Did you? Yeah, there you go. Good. 2 years ago then, Aronov, 5 inches taller, 5 inches of reach. Because Aronov's a little tank. That's why. Yeah. Everyone's taller than a tank. Go ahead.
I'm going to say this was a pick'em. You know, the Dana White Contender Series pedigree of both of these two, is probably going to get both of them respect. But I'm going to go Eli Aronov. I like Aronov in this one, mostly just because of the way that Currie lost to Santos. If you watch that fight on Contender Series, he got held up against the cage pretty much whenever Santos wanted to. Didn't really have an answer for those positions from Santos. Really looked like he was getting drained by the energy of Santos. And then when you watch Santos fight Ozzy Diaz in the UFC, it came pretty clear that Santos didn't really have all that great a cardio anyway, and certainly didn't have all that great of striking. So for Currie to kind of have lost that way, sort of leaves a sour taste in my mouth. And Eli Aronov, he lost to Zachary Reese, but he lost to Zachary Reese doing what he does best. He plowed through a takedown, moved right into guard, stuck his arm into an armbar, pulled it out, put it back in, got armbarred. It was kind of a bummer, but you were like, okay, well, it was just his only problem was how he defended that submission, right? If he defended that submission better, he had Reese exactly where he wanted him. And Reese has looked kind of good in the UFC too, right? A lot better than Santos. And so, like, for me, Aronov, he's still the bulldog. He's still the guy who's going to get into the clinch and like make things nasty. He's still the guy who's going to plow you over. And I think all of that's a nightmare for Will Currie. I don't think Currie deals with any of that well. So give me Eli Aronov. Again, I think probably pick him. These guys kind of have a very similar sort of resume. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the books line it up.
Guess how Tapology lined it up, Gumby.
My guess is that Tapology likes Will Currie, but mostly just because of the layoff of Aronov. And Will Currie's picked up a couple of wins since Contender Series 2, right? He's not coming off a loss.
Yeah, 84%. So
84, though.
Yeah, big.
I don't think the books will be that wide. I think the books will keep this one close.
Sadly, too bad. All right, we are moving on to the next fight, which is not the correct one on Tapology. All right, this one is bantamweight. Oh, featherweights, excuse me. Nick Bagley from England. Keweny Lopes from Brazil. 3 5-minute rounds. Break it down. Lopes Leao, Leao, which is
big lion.
Lion, yes, lion.
Yeah, big lion.
Yeah,
no, Leao.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
Lion.
Is LE lion in Brazil?
No, LEO though is.
Okay.
I think it's Leo. Anyhow, if I'm not mistaken.
He's Leo the Lion. 11-2-1, 8 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once, submitted once, so finishing both his losses. He owes his rounds. 0-1 if he loses. He owes his rounds. 0-1 cage warriors. 11-1 over his last 12. He got TK'd in his last fight though. Multiple Richard championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our shirt, get our gear, get this shirt I'm wearing right now, or the hat. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Try the code MADNESS. We had that code going in March for 20% off. Maybe it's still active. Check it out. Used to fight at 155, 2015 pro MMA debut, an inch of height over Bagley. 6-1 with 6 submissions. He's never been finished. Yet he owes his rounds still. 5-1 in cage warriors. He's won 4 straight. He's not lost since March 2022. Used to fight at 155, 2 years younger than Lopes.
I think this is another one that I'm going to call it pick 'em. Mostly just because it is a weird style matchup, right? Bagley, a guy who really likes to wrestle, big, heavy, kind of top game situation. Looks downright afraid on the feet sometimes. Like it looks like he's just trying to avoid strikes until he can get to the takedown sometimes. And when he's on the ground, pretty good. I do question whether or not his takedown game is actually good. Some of his entries look like they're kind of from far away, and he's powerful, so it's like worked enough. But I don't know that he's fought somebody who's as powerful as Keweny Lopes, which is why I'm taking Lopes in this fight. Lopes, super strong, super powerful, super athletic. I really like his striking from range, particularly the kicks to the body. When he hits you to the body, like you are going to feel it for days. You mentioned he's coming off of a KO loss. Yeah, he lost to a Hardwick. I believe it was Harry Hardwick for the belt. So, like, you can't fault them too much for that, which is also kind of why I think this fight will be a pick'em, because, like, Bagley's record looks like a touch better, but, like, Lopes is coming off of a fight for the title, so that might bring him back to pick'em. But I think his takedown defense is going to hold up. I think because he's as strong as he is, and from what I've seen, his ability to dig underhooks is really smart. So I'm going to take Keweny Lopes. I think he's going to crack on the feet, and I think as long as he can stay away from being on the mat too much with Bagley, I think he should handle it.
Yes, 56-44 for Bagley on Tapology, so close to pick 'em range.
Try to pick him. Yeah.
All right, we will put the Lion, mark him down for the Lion. All right, before we move on, let me tell you about Underdog. Gummy's getting in on at least a few underdogs in this card, it looks like, but we're talking about Underdog Fantasy here. It's time for a bonus Underdog Pick'em. Underdog Pick'em, you can play any sport and win up to 100 times your money. Gummy's got to play for you for any sport.
I'm sure I do. If we're going to go to the NBA, we're going to go to the NBA on Monday. Of all of the teams I like, well, I mean, the Jazz are playing the Bulls. Who are my 2 favorite guys to play? Kyle Filipkowski, Zach Collins right now. Those are the 2. Zach Collins did get relegated back to the bench, so I guess we're going Filipkowski. We'll take Filipkowski's higher than on his points. I don't like his rebounds so much when he's playing Vucevic and Zach Collins. That's a tandem that you want to stay away from when it comes to how many rebounds you're going to pull down. Yeah. But I do like Filipkowski's points, though. He's been putting up some good numbers lately. So that's the way we're going to go with this one.
All right. Sign up with our code MMASGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. That's underdogfantasy.com. Promo code MMASGPN. And Edge Boost. SGPN is partnered up with Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for bettors. Nudge Boost card allows you to avoid the hassle of having your card denied at the sportsbook, DFS site, sweepstakes site, racetrack, or casino. Plus, you can earn up to $750 per month in cashback rewards for using your Edge Boost card. And you know your money is safe as the card is FDIC insured. The best part is no credit checks and it's completely free. Sign up for Edge Boost and enter our free $2,000 bracket contest at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BRACKET. Because it's the season for brackets and all that fun stuff. Nacho Alvarez, Gumby. Should I put him on my watch list? Is he going to do anything in fantasy this year? Probably
no,
not.
He's not even going to be on the major league team.
Perfect. No, they were talking. I don't have him. I just asked. They were talking about him on Effectively Wild. That he potentially
I did hear
could
that.
Be a breakout.
Look, I think he's all right. I was listening to that episode too. I think he's all right. He didn't hit well when he came to the majors last year, and they got Nick Allen too, who's been having a great spring training. And if they're looking for somebody to replace Garcia, it's probably going to be him.
There you go. We have at least one Braves fan that listens, so they appreciated us talking about that, right?
Yeah, they should.
It was what's his face? MMA.
MMA
yeah,
Upside?
Was it MMA Upside?
MMA
Yeah,
Upside. I think it was MMA Upside. Yeah.
All right, we're to our main event. I take it the other Hardwick probably will be the co-main event, right? Once it's actually locked in here, because that's for a belt too, right?
They're both for belts, right?
Yeah.
And, so I imagine, give me Hardwicks in any order and I will watch it. I mean,
double shot.
You're gonna hear my breakdown today. They fight the same way.
Well, there you go. Which one's better? Is there a better Hardwick brother?
I actually kind of like George Hardwick a little bit better than Harry.
Okay.
I think he's a little crisper on the feet, and it sucks that he already lost his Contender Series chance.
Yeah.
But like he lost to Abdul Karim El Sawadi, who I'm pretty high on.
It's aging good. Yep. That is aging well. All right. Our main event is for the Cage Warriors Featherweight Championship. Harry Hardwick is the champion. He's from Great Britain. Javier Garcia from the United States of America is challenging him. Does he still have that amazing mustache?
He does,
right? Rolly fingers. Nice. 5-minute rounds. There's an old callback. Or Laney McDonald. His didn't curl up. All right. Garcia, we'll tell you about first. El Mariachi. We've talked about him before because I said I have no idea what that nickname means. He's 12-5 with 1 no contest, 7 submissions. He's been submitted twice. He's 1-0 in Cage Warriors. He's won 2 straight and gone 4-0 with 1 no contest over his last 5. He won his last fight via submission. He's not lost since March 2022. He's regional champion, or was. He's fed at 155, 0-1 in combat at jiu-jitsu. Hardwick, Harry Houdini Hardwick is 12-3-1, 3 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been submitted once, 6-0-1 in Cage Warriors. He is the champ. He's successfully defended his title once. He's won 4 straight and gone 7-0-1 over his last 8. 3 straight wins via finish. He's not lost since September of 2020. Regional champion. He's fed at 135, 2015 pro MMA debut. 1-0 in kickboxing and champion in that one belt he fought. 2 years younger, 2 inches of reach over Garcia.
Yeah, I think Harry Hardwick probably like negative 250 favorite. Like he's a Hardwick, so he's going to be a favorite no matter what. But I think the fact that Garcia's got the he fought in LFA and a couple other promotions in the U.S. and he's got that really nice win in his Cage Warriors. Sorry, not Cage Titans. That's also this weekend. Cage Warriors debut. I think that should help keep the number low. I'm still going to go Harry Hardwick because basically the problem here is I think Javier Garcia needs a takedown and a submission in the first 7 minutes of this fight or he loses. Harry Hardwick, like his brother, brings a pace that you just can't match. He comes forward, he cuts off angles, he makes you fight in a phone booth. And while you can take him down, it's not like it's impossible to take him down. I just think the bigger issue here is just that Garcia is going to wear down. We saw Hardwick score a 4th round TKO last time out. And Garcia kind of got popped a bunch by Roberto Hernandez in his Cage Warriors fight. He did wind up winning that fight. It was a split decision, but on the feet, the accuracy of Hernandez was just a little bit too much for him. And I think Hardwick's 12 times better than that. And so I'm going to take Harry Hardwick here. I do think it's too bad there's probably not live betting lines on this one, because if there were, I'd probably like Harry Hardwick a lot after round 1, where if maybe it looked a little sketchy, you might be able to get him down into the 100s or even money. And I think he's just going to take over. I think that's the way Hardwick's fight. So, I'm going to take Harry Hardwick in this one.
All right. He has got Harry Hardwick. Let's give you a recap, but don't you go away yet. We got you 5 picks here, plus the carryover from last weekend. So you got 6 picks, and then Gumby can get you some bonus ones. Even though we've already covered more than half the card, or about half the card. He's got the Hardwick, the Harry Hardwick in the main event. And then he has got Lopes, Aronov. Why? It's an easy name, Gumby.
You got it.
Ali Aronov.
You did.
Ali Aronov. It's easy. It's not Eli. I guess there's multiple ways to say it. Touma. It's not a Touma. And Xhaferi. I got that name. The name starts with an X and an H, and I got it right. Anyhow, later round, Zap Bam Boom Pow, Gumby. Hit us.
Yeah, so the first person I'm going to take is the other brother and the other Aronov. I'm going to take Rafael Aronov. I think he's on the prelims. My guess is his 6-6 record is going to deter people from picking him and possibly make him an underdog here. But he's kind of a bruiser, and he's up against a guy who's lost a couple in a row. And certainly, I mean, he's like a submission specialist, but like hasn't submitted anybody who's not like 3-5 or 0-0. And Aronov, like, he bangs on the feet. He actually isn't the wrestler his brother is, which is fine. But I like Rafael Aronov here. And I'm also going to get back on the Riri Hudson train. Like, she was a huge favorite last time out, dropped her fight, wound up going to 1-1. I'm hoping the fact that she lost and is down to 1-1 means we can get her at a playable line, because I still think she's got a really high ceiling. So I'm going to go with Riri Hudson and Rafael Aronov.
All right, you are all set. Anyone on here that we should keep our eye on for either Contender Series this coming season or UFC proper?
Yeah, I mean, 100%, circle the Hardwicks in. I think they're both going to the Contender Series this fall. Wouldn't surprise me if they put them on the same card. Also wouldn't surprise me if a fight fell off this weekend at UFC London. Either of them were ready to step in. I didn't look and see if there were any featherweight, lightweight fights or anything like that, but I don't think the UFC would hesitate to just flop them over on the card. And then, I kind of think whoever wins the Nick Bagley, Keweny Lopes fight, I think both of them are good enough maybe to go to the UFC. And so like whoever wins that fight, which obviously I picked Lopes. And I think Currie and Aronov, if they had been a little bit more active and picked up a few more wins before this stage, might be possible guys who could. But now I think they've got to probably rack up a few more beforehand. So they might be like 2026 guys for a second shot. All
right. You are all set for Cage Warriors. We'll be back tomorrow for LFA. In the meantime, we are in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Where else can you hit us up? You can hit us up on the YouTube, MMA Gambling Podcast. Make sure you subscribe. You can call me a pussy on Twitter, SGPN MMA. He's at Gumby Reland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer. Just recognize the voices. Our voices are different. You can also call me a pussy on Instagram. People on Instagram are more polite, though. That would be Jeff Fox Writer on Instagram. Don't call me a pussy on my Substack, but you can subscribe. moneymma.substack.com. At the very least, get a free subscription. Enter my free pick'em for the UFC up and running again this coming weekend. Gumby's got Top Turtle MMA podcast. Do we know who is going to be on it this week?
Yeah, we're talking with Chris the Problem Duncan and Marcin Tybura.
Oh, very nice. Tybura last time didn't work out so well. If you talk to you, Gumby, just saying he was pretty confident.
Oh, yeah, he got some. He's fighting Mick Parkin this weekend. Should be an interesting one.
Yeah, he was kind of overlooking his opponent, it seemed, that when he was talking to you. And we'll see how he does this weekend. So check out Top Turtle and, of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Lots of NCAA basketball coverage up there right as we speak, getting you ready for this week's action. And plus every other sport we cover there as well. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Remember, try the code MADNESS. See if you get 20% off. Have a feeling you will. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon to get some bonus content. We'll be back tomorrow. Houdini, Jeff Fox, El Mariachi, Vreeland, and we shall talk to you then.